The al-Kabir, the ruler's palace, former ruler's palace, is to my right. There's not, but at the same time, we can, as archaeologists, we can consider certain parts of the buildings and structure, certain parts of the layout and plan of Muslim Cordoba, and trace it vis-a-vis the pattern of the city today. It's quite an important task as archaeologists, is what we do. And as part of my project here on the archaeology of Islamic Cordoba. Now here we have the lower parts of the wall, and from an area from where I stand, virtually, perhaps give or take a metre or two, all the way across to the other side of the river would have been water. So the original name is Arabic, Wadi al-Kabir, today known by the Spaniards as the Guadalquivir. Originates from the Arabic Wadi al-Kabir. And this river was much, much wider in the Muslim period. Remember, Cordoba, as the capital of al-Andalus, was the largest city in al-Andalus, the whole of Muslim Spain and Iberia, also the largest city in the Western world, with a population of 1 to 1.5 million. And its role during the time of Muslim rule in al-Andalus, and when you see its state today in comparison, you feel very sad. I certainly do feel sad at this aspect of Cordoba. But in any case, it's important to see where we are by way of comparison. I think we'll go this way, in fact. So this land I'm standing on was formerly a part of the river, the width of the river, and now it's just a flat area which is encompassed, covered, smothered in fact, by flowers, by reeds and weeds as well. Let's not forget the weeds, and possibly a snake or two perhaps. And we could see here the extent of the amount of land which is covered now where water once stood. And so it's impossible for large ships to go across this river now as compared to before, because beneath this soil will be some form of archaeological record. Let us not forget, this was a Muslim city, the largest Muslim city in Spain, al-Andalus that is, from 711 to 1236, so 500 years. A very important city. All sorts of activity took place here: educational activity, commercial, economic activity, religious activity, art and architecture, all sorts of activity. And this river was the artery of trade and commerce and communication. The river, in fact, is just further to my left. So if you could see the distance all the way across to the other end of the riverbank, that is the river, where the river would have started in terms of its width, and gone across where I am now area. So if we come up here for a moment, you could get a better shot, in fact. So all the way across from there, the width of the river would have gone all the way across behind me there, another road. From this particular angle, you can see clearly the scope of the wall. So all of that area was covered by a large wall, tall wall, punctuated by towers, and that would have represented the central epicenter, the old Medina city of Cordoba, the center of it. We'll be examining much of Cordoba as part of my special archaeology survey project of Islamic Cordoba, which itself is part of a wider, very large-scale project I'm undertaking on the archaeology of Islam in al-Andalus. That's all the material evidence of Islam in al-Andalus, in addition to what I'm doing on the specialized history of al-Andalus, which includes medical history, agricultural history, military history, political history, economic history, and so forth. So there's quite a lot to be done here. And it is a great privilege to be here, even standing here on this bank, what is now the bank of the river, the floodplain of the river Gualquivir, standing in what was the epicenter, one of the major epicenters of Islamic Cordoba, where so much activity had taken place. And the aim is to, through archaeological investigation and research, using the latest technologies as well, to consider what actually is contained beneath this soil.